Okay, so it seems that we have an update on the whole AnnyTF and Vedal situation. Now, this has been a pretty crazy one. I obviously covered this while I was away on vacation, but essentially Annie came out with a couple of clips over on her stream talking about, you know, her not working with Vedal and the Neuroverse anymore. Now, obviously, lots of this wasn't for like a terrible reason or anything. Nothing bad really happened. A lot of it was due to the fact that she kind of had feelings for Vedal that weren't really reciprocated, and obviously that affected her ability to kind of work on the project, which honestly I think is a pretty good move. Some people can let it go too far, continue to work on it, and I think honestly for Annie that is the best move for her. But obviously, with all of this, the main reason why she decided to bring it up on stream, because usually this would be a very personal thing that would never see the light of day, but she's been getting a lot of harassment and hate from many people online for leaving the kind of space. Now, if you don't know, obviously Annie made the model for Neuro Sama, the new one, which is obviously great, and she's been helping Vedal with that. But now it seems like she will not be working on any of the future stuff or new things for Neuro or Vedal or anything like that going forwards due to this, you know, obviously issue that she's been having. And obviously, this is entirely her choice, her decision. And yeah, I mean, it seems to be pretty amicable between the two. And obviously, there's been a clip that's come out of Vedal actually responding to a lot of the people talking about this, which I did think was interesting. And I wanted to show you guys and go through, and then, yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay, basically, for those of you that haven't already heard, Annie said earlier this week that she's stepping away from the project. She talked a little bit about her reasoning on her stream. You can go watch the clips of that if you want to. I'm not going to go into any detail about it, just out of respect for the privacy of everyone involved. I think the important thing to note is there's no real drama here or anything. I know sometimes people just go down different paths, but yeah, that's that. I'm super grateful, though, for all the help that she's given us, me and the twins. Dude, I still remember when Neuro had her default model, and I was trying to get her an original model for the first time. My plan was actually like commission someone on Fiverr for cheap, all right? Maybe get one of my friends who would like rig the live 2D model like once or twice to like slap some things together. It would have been ass. It would have been such a bad model. Yeah, no, it would have been terrible. But she helped me see the the light there, because I mean I had no idea what I was doing when I entered the VTubing space. But yeah, I don't know. Wanted to wish her the best going forward, and I hope you guys will do the same. Oh yeah, I think part of the reason she wanted to talk about it on stream is because she was getting a lot of harassment from people. You know, about the twins and the models and stuff, and like, dude, that is so shit behavior, man. It's fucked. I know it's not most of you, and I always feel weird talking about this kind of thing, because I feel like those of you with listening comprehension or the self-awareness to understand that, like, you're not the people that need to hear this, I guess. But yeah, if you do see people harassing, I don't know, don't harass them back, but like call them out on it or something. I don't know. It's shit, and don't do that. I don't want anyone to ever do that. And that doesn't just go for Annie. That's literally everybody. There is no reason to do that. But I mean, yeah, I know it's like not many of you, and also the people that are hearing this probably aren't the people that need to hear it. But I need to say something anyway, because it's shit behavior. But yeah, we needed to cover that real quick.
So yeah, obviously that's what he had to say about the Annie stuff. And yeah, I mean, you can see here, it's a pretty amicable kind of, you know, departure. It's not like, you know, he's upset at her or anything, or the other way around. You know, I think she's just left due to, you know, the reason that she's given, and that's totally okay. And she, if anything, you know, they are both more mad about the hate and harassment that she's been receiving. And obviously, Vedal does make a good point there. Like, you know, he's saying, don't go harass her, don't go send her hate. But 9 times out of 10, the people watching the streams and the people actually interacting with streams don't go and do that. It's a lot of schizos in the community that go and do that and don't listen to what Vedal says, regardless of whatever he tells his audience to do or not to do, right? And I think that's obviously a very important part in what he's saying. A lot of people we know how, you know, dedicated the Neuro Sama community is. We covered the whole pixel canvas, right? They've got so many fans, a big plethora of them, who will obviously go and harass her and stuff like that due to this kind of stuff. And it's very sad to see. And that is one of the reasons why Annie has been on break. Obviously, there's been other stuff too, including other like forms of harassment and stuff, which obviously has kind of, messed up a lot of things. And Annie has, been on break. But this is just one of the things that she wanted to mention, because there was a lot of hate and kind of harassment going her way for leaving the project. And as Vedal says there, you know, he wouldn't have actually, you know, commissioned a good model or anything, because Annie makes really good models. We can all tell, right? He wouldn't have done that if Annie didn't step in and do that, which again, obviously he's very grateful for and has made, you know, the Neuro Sama channel what it is today. Or the Vedal channel. I don't even know what you really want to call it. Now, obviously, people talk about it over on the Neuro Sama kind of Reddit as well, saying, I'm glad he did address it because I was concerned that he wasn't going to. I think Vedal has done his best, in the best way possible, out of respect for the privacy for Annie, and this is pretty much all I wanted from him. This is truly the end of it now, and I hope we as a community can move on from Annie. Never forget everything she did. I mean, I don't think they should move on from her, but they should move on from, obviously, sending hate and harassment, but they should always remember how much she's provided to the channel, right? They say never forget everything she did for the project and the Swarm, and her being the rallying force for the record-breaking hype train. But do remember that it's her life, and what she chooses to do going forwards is purely her decision. Continued harassment on the matter is unacceptable. Vedal, Annie, and or any other VTuber in the Neuroverse doesn't deserve that. My utmost respect goes to Vedal for not hiding in the shell and addressing this directly. And yeah, I think a lot of people have been very supportive of Annie and also Vedal for actually speaking up about this, because Vedal could have just turned around and just went, yeah, no, I'm not going to address this at all. I'm just going to ignore it and just move on. Because, again, he doesn't really have to. You know, in a kind of sense of, like, you know, Annie put out these clips and stuff. He didn't need to talk about it. He could have just carried on doing what he's doing and just left it at that, right? But he did decide to talk about it because, again, it obviously seems like he cares about the hate and harassment that Annie has been getting. And that's a really good sign, you know? It means that, you know, he is obviously caring about this situation. It's just not one of these where he like, kind of goes and cuts it off. But yeah. They say respect to him for addressing it. I mean, I guess he's not the confrontational type, but yeah, I just hope this, I hope those shitty people stop. I love Vedal and Annie. They said it means, I guess. Love that Neuro showed some tact there at the end too. She knows it's serious and clear. Oh yeah, did she actually speak at the end? We actually ended that.
I know she hasn't been around much for a while, and there wasn't much
kind of nodding along.
Sort of family content this year and last, I think. But I did want to clear up some of the confusion sort of around her plans going forward. And yeah, it was something we need to talk about.
Okay, no, she didn't, but she does kind of like nod along at the end, which is great to see. She's actually muted so she wouldn't make tactless comments, which is that's funny. So I'm wishing him luck, though. I fear it won't move the needle. Obviously, yeah, I don't think many people are going to listen to what Vedal says. Obviously, maybe some will, but as I said, there's a lot of people out there who try to spread this hate and harassment regardless of what their favorite streamer says, which I think is obviously stupid and ridiculous. But again, I don't think that it's going to change a lot of people's opinions. Maybe it will change some, though, which is obviously an important reason why he goes out and says this, because I think it is important to publicly say, hey, do not harass this person. They don't deserve any hate whatsoever, so that at least maybe some that are jumping on the bandwagon can, you know, stop doing what they are doing, because it is horrible and it does affect people. Now, Annie's been doing great, by the way, over on her streams and stuff. She's been averaging a pretty high viewer count, which is really, really great to see. And it seems like people are back on board ever since she came back from hiatus. So yeah, obviously I hope that both of them do very, very well. Obviously, I love Annie's content and I love Vedal's content, or Neuro Sama's content, whatever you want to call it, right? So again, obviously I hope that they both do good. And at the end of the day, I do think it is just one of these situations where it is a little bit disappointing for the fans, but it does make sense. And that is Annie's own decision in whatever she wants to do. And I don't think anybody should send her harassment or hate for that. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, also I am back, if you guys can't tell, the normal setup, which is great. And yeah, I'm a little bit sick at the moment too, so if I sound a little bit weird, that will go away in a couple of days, I swear. But yeah, for now, that is it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.